Hello and welcome to Author's Feet, a literary program focusing on contemporary Kenyan authors and their literary journeys. This is your host, Empress Ciku Mwaniki. So today's guest, she's a woman I fear and respect in equal measure. I fear her because, she's an editor, and as an author, we tend to fear editors, but also ironically, I respect her for the same reasons because she's an amazing editor. She's also somebody who walks the talk because she's written 2 solo books and a lot of other short stories. And actually, I should let her introduce herself and tell us what she does. Karibu sana, Verah.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Karibu sana. Verah Omwocha,
Yes.
editor, author, amongst so many other things. Where do we start? Maybe I should ask you, what came first, the chicken or the egg? The chicken being the editor, I guess, and the egg being the writer.
The reading.
The reading.
Yeah. Which one is that now?
Oh, okay.
It's not neither the egg
hatching,
nor the chicken.
I guess.
Yeah. But before the chicken and the egg, there was the reader.
Okay.
Yeah. Before the writing and the editing, there was the reader, the child who read books, who made friends with books, who had access to books. I think that's important.
How did you have access to books?
Because my parents were teachers. And
cool.
they had a school library from where they could borrow books for those who wanted to read. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at some point, did you think one day I'm going to write as well as these people? How did that work?
No. Back then, of course, you know that writing was very far-fetched. It was something other people did and you consumed. But I remember, even as a child, I'd read the book from the first page, from the copyright page. I don't know why, but I would start from the beginning. I would read the acknowledgement, the dedication, the everything, the publisher's details. So I knew early on that there were these publishers. Of course, we used books by Kenyan publishers, EAP, KLB, the like. And then now I went to school. Fast forward, I studied English and literature. Trained to be a teacher.
Was that deliberate? How did you end up with English and literature?
Because my dad chose that.
He did?
Yes.
He knew you probably better than...
I wanted to study journalism. Well, so it wasn't very far off.
Yes.
Of course, we had a bit of trouble with that transition, but it's something that I embraced somewhere down the line. And also I enjoyed it a lot when I got to campus. It was fun, reading books, our exams, literally just unpacking books, most of it at least, literary text, and you get introduced to literatures from different parts of the world. And I just sunk myself in the journey, and it's something that I've always done. I continuously found it easy to do. Just thought it's seamless. It's the kind of stuff that I do. Anything literary, I do that pretty effortlessly. So even when I graduated and tried to be a teacher and thought maybe not. And
how long did you teach?
I had a stint.
So, okay.
It was a stint for a term.
So I'm curious. I'm always curious about the transition because I know us as a Kenyan and as a Kenyan author and as a Kenyan reader, I know I got introduced to reading through foreign, reading foreign words. Even as a young person, we read Mills and Boons, which should be banned in my opinion. We read, Nancy Drew, all those books. My experience with Kenyan authors was, like set books, some set books. We did get those set books. So to me, I never at some point thought, you read Kenyan as entertainment. When did you meet Kenyan writing as a career, as interest as something you can consume when you're just trying to fall asleep or relax?
Actually, I was introduced to Kenyan books before any other. In fact, the examples you mentioned, funny enough, I haven't read them up to date.
Wow.
I know. Yeah. So that could be some sort of like a privilege, but also it's the books that I got.
Actually.
The books I got introduced to were not Cinderellas. They were books by, they were The Talking Devil, they were the Ogre stories, they were the East African Y series, the Oxford, what is the name? It has just disappeared. NPPE series. So I enjoyed and consumed a lot of those books. Perhaps that's why I'm passionate about Kenyan literature, because I had quite a grounding in it.
Oh, wow. That is a privilege. You called it. It is a privilege. I'm very proud of whoever introduced you to that.
My mom.
Your mom, bless her. So at what point did you decide, okay, this is... Was it after the stint, the teaching stint, or how did we land into editing, into publishing?
Curiosity, because like I mentioned, I was aware of the existence of these publishers. And I don't know where I stumbled upon the Orange Book, the KICD listed works for schools, approved series. So I basically just sent my CV to nearly all the publishers, and of course it was terrible. I wouldn't hire me then. It was horrible, but I just thought, oh, perhaps it is an option. I was thinking of what other options are there, because the people we went to school with who were not teaching went into banking, insurance and that kind. But I thought, it's not an interest of mine, but I am certainly interested in books. So reaching out to publishers and the publishing field, getting involved or getting interested.
In what? How?
I went to book fairs. I reached, one of the publishers hired me.
As an
editor,
so
as an intern.
As intern editor's intern, eh?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Was that what you were when you were sending your CVs? Is that what you were focusing on?
Yes. I'm
curious.
Because back then, there was a time actually when they used to, put out ads in newspapers. Or before, I think the one that I saw was in a newspaper, ads, publisher looking for editors. So I looked at the requirements, and one of the qualifications was that if you have pursued a degree in these fields, information science or education, I was like, yes, I qualify for this. So I got the interest and the knowledge well that this exists. This is an option. This is something that I think I would do, and I think I would love to do.
Okay. So maybe let me tell our readers a short story of, for example, of Verah Omwocha. So Verah, an amazing editor, and by the way, these are her books. This was I should have read this one first, because this was your first book, But I read this one first. So I read this one, Mikai, Diary of Mikai, and Diary of Miaha. What's Miaha?
Recently married.
Recently married. Okay. Mikai, I know, is first wife.
Yeah.
Let's not have second wife. But anyway, I have read these two books, and as I was reading for the usual, entertainment and information and, curiosity, I was also looking for mistakes, because I was also looking for editorial and spelling and grammatical mistakes, but I didn't find any, which disappointed me. And because, you always want to catch those people in the day. So Verah, who has read my works, probably not all, but she's read enough of my works, and who has probably heard me talk about how messy my work was, and that's the other thing that we need to talk about. My work was like extremely messy to begin with, but Verah, when she used to read my work, she would read it, I guess, as a project, right? You're thinking, this book should have come through my hands before it got to print. Luckily, it's something I've owned from the word go, because I know how I started is not how it should have gone. So she is so gracious, and she points out the mistakes, and and then she'll tell me, oh, Shiko, by the way, I saw these and these. So that's the kind of person Verah is. Apart from me, who owns my mistakes very openly, and maybe I think I deserve to have those mistakes, because I think I was like the second or third self-published author in Kenya. We were allowed to make those mistakes so that the rest of the people do not make those mistakes. Apart from people like me who, we own, have you tried to like pick those things? And have you told them, like, the way you come to me, very professionally, by the way, and has there been any strange, funny reactions? Because I know we can be a sensitive lot.
Of course.
Yeah.
Or we pretend we are.
All that.
Writers like to have this, us, we are a special clique.
Yes.
You should not talk to us like this. You should know we are
Approach
sensitive.
me with the
we are
respect.
introverts. We are this and that,
Yeah.
But we are really not.
Humans.
We are humans. Now, first of all, thank you for the work that you've done and for speaking about your journey. You started with those 2 tiny prints. The author's feet you started with were like a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
And now you're, my goodness, you've done amazing. Even you tracking your growth as a writer, as an author, is pretty fascinating and very motivating.
Thank you.
And also, thank you for sharing that, this, by the way, you don't begin knowing all these things. Not everyone is aware of the publishing process, and editing is not just spotting grammar, grammatical issues. Not every writer knows that, and it is okay. You are a writer.
Yeah.
You can't be a publisher. No. Okay. Now, those roles
No,
sometimes...
those are the things I need people to hear, so please go ahead.
Those roles now sort of interlap for self-published authors, but largely that it is okay, but in this age, we cannot cite ignorance. We cannot pretend that we do not know. Even when we are self-publishing, people like you have gone ahead, have done this for such a period that we are privileged now with more information, with access.
Sure.
If sometimes someone can ask, I want to self-publish, where do I begin? But really what they're asking is literally something you can type out in Google and you'll get a lot of information so that at least you get to see or even understand how different self-publishing is from traditional publishing. And also that not everything that is written ought to be self-published. Well, that's another story. But yes.
Yeah, no, we all know that, actually.
To the question that you asked, yes, sometimes I have read books. I think we range from the beginner author's feet to the to the accomplished author's feet, in that there are books, there are very great books, Kenyan writing that we are yet to talk about as we should, or interact with and interrogate. And also, there are other books that perhaps could have needed more investment, not necessarily from the author, but from other people, because an author is made an author by the team that is around them, that supports their publication process. Yeah. You as a writer can only write, or at least your responsibility, the heaviest responsibility that you carry is writing itself, the writing itself. But you need other people. You need your work to be read by people before it is published. So you need people to just read and give you feedback. You need people to tell you this story, if it's fiction, in what ways do they think it can be developed? There are readers who can do that for you. In developed publishing ecosystems, there are readers who do that as a career, Yeah. But now, since we are not that developed, we still have access to people who read or who can share feedback, honest feedback. And honest feedback, by the way, does not mean negative. Sometimes
no, it doesn't. But it also means you can't be nice. Nice. Those ones of, it's okay. But,
yeah.
You need to hear this and this and this and this.
Yes, it works in publishing. We say that the strengths and weaknesses or ways in which it can be improved. So you need readers who can tell you these are the strengths, this is what works for the manuscript, and this is what can be improved, what can be made better. Now sometimes there are, in publishing, there are what they call reports, and the readers or reviewers can say, or editors can say, this is not publishable for the following reasons, or the above mentioned reasons. This should not proceed to publishing because perhaps the ideas are not well developed, the concept maybe is flawed in some ways, and sometimes the report means it can proceed, but we need to do a little bit
breaking
of
the
more
author's heart.
Yeah, sometimes hearts must be broken for the good of the project and for the good of the publishing ecosystem, for the good of the reader who invests money into books, and books are not cheap. Yes.
Oh no, they're not.
Yeah. So I think of books as products that also, just the same way you buy anything else, and as a buyer demand or request quality services.
Thank you.
That should the same should apply to books or the book world, so that when someone is buying a book, they should get value for their money.
Yeah. I was just wondering, you've been editing professionally for what? Maybe
like 10 years.
Like 10 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there an improvement? Are we improving? Or
Yes.
what do you think? We are.
Yes. Sometimes when we speak about quality, it sounds like we are stuck in the same mess, but we have made tremendous steps.
We have, yeah?
Yes, we have.
Because I think we really have to. Because I was having a chat with Bule of Nuria the other day, and he was telling me, on average, every day he receives 5 new books by new authors, not repeat, by new authors. And I found that very overwhelming as, as a reader and as a writer as well. But as a reader, I was like, when will I ever buy all those books? As a writer, I'm thinking like, hey, people will not notice my books because, there are all these books. To peg it to what you're saying, that we need to be very good at what we're doing. We need to have products that if one guy over there reads it, they can say, wow, this book, I read it, and it's ABCD, it's ABCD. So you can depend on that guy who by chance happens to buy your book and, sell it for you. Sell it for you without really realizing. Because if somebody comes and says, like, for instance, if 10 years ago it was this busy and I published that first book, I think I wouldn't have sold anything after that. I wouldn't have sold it anything like that. But my luck was that I sold books to friends who were like, hey, Ciku, Atakama, this story is really good, but really, that kind of thing. So I had people who had, like really good feedback. So, Verah, apart from your professional work as let's go to, how did you end up with the Writers Guild? Tell us about Writers Guild. Are we still active with a Writers Guild? What does Writers Guild want to do for the publishing scene in Kenya?
Okay. I think Writers Guild came at a time when there wasn't a lot of
sorry, maybe first tell us what Writers Guild is.
It's
please.
Basically an incubation center for writers, and it was born out of that need that we don't have a lot of systems, or we haven't created an ecosystem where writers can get feedback about their work, unless you're sending it to the newspaper or you're lucky enough to be the 1% who gets accepted by a traditional publisher. So Writers Guild was born to create that space because people were writing, but there is no outlet. And then that was before this before this age where we have 5 new books, because the publishing scene has now opened to allow literally anybody can publish, can wake up today and feed a prompt to
we know those ones.
and say, tomorrow we have a book out, and have the AI designed the cover and tomorrow you have a new book. That was before then. So there was an actual need that it was responding to, and it did very well in bringing young writers together. We used to have sessions where we'd have accomplished writers in the industry. I don't know if you ever did a session, but like...
No, I did do
talk,
one.
You did.
Yeah, I did
people
one.
like Ciku who had done the work, who had put in who had stuck to this writing business, however discouraging sometimes it gets, and talk to these young writers, tell them, you know what, you can keep going, you can keep writing. Your writing is responding to a need, and there's someone who would appreciate your writing, your thoughts, you know. Yeah, so it was to bridge that gap between the publishing and the writer, and to just walk with people who are starting out, regardless of age, by the way. So there were writers as young as 10 or even below, and there were young writers as young as 70. So yeah.
How's that going now?
I think it did the work. For
right now, quite a number of books with the Writers Guild.
Yes, and of course it also offered the publishing support for a lot of writers, which is very impactful and impressive. Yes, so I think now more people have information, and it's not that they don't need that, but at least we have had that, and it has done the work that it was to do.
So you feel like you did what you set out to do with Writers Guild?
I feel that is a personal opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like it's, at least for me, even for me as a writer, it did a lot for me, because then it was a space where, your first drafts are accepted, and other people can read your work and say, oh, okay, yes, this works, but this doesn't, you know. Yeah, so it offered.
Do you feel like, even like for Writers Guild, and for like Verah as even as an editor, do you feel like AI is messing our careers, your career, in a good way, in a bad way? Because we kind of love technology, because technology makes our lives easier, but technology also is not necessarily a good thing in some instances. What do you think about this?
On AI, there is much that can be said about that. The only thing I can add is to try not to outsource thinking. Yeah. Because we are humans, and what we say, our thoughts, how we view life, how we approach issues, I think that's what is important and what counts. So there is no point in giving a prompt to a machine for it to write for you and then bring it for editing. It just doesn't make sense to me at all.
It doesn't, and I hate it. Let me just
state it
here.
I
have never learned how to do the prompts, and that is deliberate. I am not going to. I don't want to get to a point where I might be, like tempted to do it. I like my writer's block. I rather like the moments I do my overnight writings, or the ones I go for a whole week without writing because I can't, But I think we need. But it's also quite easy to pick up an AI item. I've realized I can tell. I don't know how. I don't think it's the perfection of the text. I think there's something. I know this word soul has been used a lot, but maybe it is soul, but there's something off usually when there's AI. So I hope pretty soon that we are all going to be able to pick up AI text from Nini, and then we ignore the AI ones.
Yeah.
So Verah, there's so much I'd like to talk to you about, but tell us about, there's what is this? That was her first book. Miaha, you told me it's like newly married,
Yes.
Still on honeymoon. Mikai, this one she had already, this is about you and as a mother usually, and this one touched me a lot. This glad. One I thought it's a girl's book, it's a woman's book. She's very candid, and I must say I admire you, and I know somewhere in this book you said you had said you'd never write like a diary. I can't. Mine, I'd have to say where the bodies are, so that is not going to happen. But also, it's the way you're so candid. Did you feel, how does it feel to write a diary? Do you feel like I'm telling too much? Do you feel like who will think, who will read this and judge me? Do you need to have lived more or less a good life? Because you have. I mean, if I look at you, and I think, oh, she was such a nice girl.
Yeah.
Do you have to be at that point? How was it to pour out your heart?
Okay, wow, that's interesting and also really packed.
Yeah.
You don't have to have lived a certain age for you to write a memoir or autobiography. You just have to have something to say, I think. And also, how I write, the first one was a little bit more personal, but the other one was more reflective of how we do relationships, not just the marital relationships, but our relationships with ourselves, with society, our political systems, and how they seep into our personal existences, all of that. So looking at marriage, at motherhood, at how we build societies, really, and if these systems, economic systems, political systems are sustainable, and also if they support mothers in nurturing citizens, and if they work for the benefit of each other. Yeah. So
I wondered also, like, this was such an innocent book. This was a book that really believed in, the happily ever afters, and it was really sweet. I was reading it. I'm actually glad I read the second book first before I read the first one. I'd say a lot of maybe, but this one felt raw. This one felt very
losing innocence.
Yeah, this one felt like a very hopeful book. I know it was your interest, and I love the fact that you are not telling people what to do. By the way, you were just telling people how you were navigating this new thing called married and the love and everything. It felt very innocent. It felt like you writing down your hopes. This one, although there is no heartbreak, I must warn you that it's beautiful. So it's very raw. I felt this one very deep. I felt you were more honest with your feelings. Did you realize you were doing that? Did you realize, or did the innocence go?
The innocence goes, of course, and you lose that glass with which you've been viewing life, a little bit at least. So yes, I noticed the growth, and also it's the thing with growing old. I'm sure you relate that as a woman, as you grow older, you're like, damn, ebu tokeni kwanza. I have my thoughts. I don't have to simply take on the model that has been built for me, what it means to be a woman in this society, how I should dress, how I should think, how I should approach issues. I don't have to do any of that. It's just basically arriving more at yourself.
Or is it motherhood, or is it just dealing with the people more?
All of that.
All of that.
All of that.
Well, thank you. You gave us a really good book here. And these are not the only books. You have written a lot. There's a lot of work with Verah Omwocha out there. Tell us about it. And if also, I'd like to see you writing a fiction. A novel, not just short stories.
I am, and I am afraid. I am afraid.
I was waiting for that. Why are you afraid?
I don't know. Okay, but I am. I am enjoying myself. I feel like I'm at a phase where I'm enjoying my writing or me writing, even if it's not published, or at least I'm telling myself I don't have to publish. I am enjoying creating. So yeah, I am hoping I'm gonna write. I am working on something.
You have a lot of work out there. You have awards. You have won awards. Quickly tell us about the awards. What you have won them for. Just talk to the camera.
It was a short story called the Tito Livio Award for Literature, and it was organized by the Italian Embassy in Kenya. And we were tasked to write historical fiction stories. So I wrote about the ethnic clashes in 1992. I just picked a random year, and like we have a lot of, how we don't tell a lot of the scars of this nation. We just move on to other scandals and more newer things. But now I'm glad that more people are capturing this historical events. So I thought, yes,
Okay.
I could capture
Well,
that.
where
So.
can we get your other books? Are they in book form? Are they online?
Yes, yes. The short story is equally available at Nuria, yeah, and
What is it called?
Kibanga, The Crescent Moon.
The Crescent
That
Moon.
was the historical short story.
Okay.
Yes, and
And
even
where,
this.
what are we? Oh, I know. I'm waiting for that. I'm holding you to that fiction. When do you hope to have it?
Guy.
I love the guy.
I am just creating. I'm creating. No
This is my
pressure,
time
you
to
know.
give you pressure, Miss Editor. Oh, tell me, who edits your work?
I have a few. I do, of course, the beta reading.
Yeah.
Have people review
Yes.
behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Other editors like Scholar Kinyi.
Are you afraid of them?
Not really, not
Really?
really. I appreciate the feedback as well.
Good.
When I'm writing, I am not an editor.
No.
I am humble. I'm very humble.
Yeah.
I'm like, of course, sometimes you feel the feedback, you're like, yes.
Yeah.
But also because I trust my writing. I'm not arrogant,
Yeah.
but I love my writing. I love how I write.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Anything you'd like to tell us? I don't know. Salimia wazazi or talk to people for like a minute. You have like a minute to speak to that camera and tell it anything you want.
For the writers, please read. We notice when you are not a reading writer, which means you're a con. So please read more. Read more. Read extensively. See ile book yenye ulisoma 1960. we need to see how your reading is affecting your writing, and it does for sure. So keep reading, keep writing, and please think about the children. Lately, I've been more drawn to the sufferings of the children. And I wrote an article for the Standard newspaper about the school deaths and how many children we have been killing in school. I say killing very intentionally. So I am very drawn to how we live with children and how we approach childbearing specifically as just a thing we do because we are bored or because it's a life achievement. Please think about, if you want to have children, think about it more. Yeah. Let's take care of the children in the homes, in the schools, everywhere. The children belong to all of us, as Baldwin said. So, yeah.
Thank you very much, Verah.
Thank you.
This has been an awesome session. And with that, like all good things, we come to the end of today's episode. We thank Macmillan Library, where we shot this episode from. I thank the crew, the amazing crew behind the cameras. And yeah, we will see you next time. This is Empress Ciku Mwaniki.